Hey everybody, I hope you had a great week of trading wherever you are in the world. It was, yes, another roller coaster week. That's just, it is what it is. And as long as Trumpy Dumpy is in office, this is what we have to deal with. It is what it is. That's all I can say. A lot of volatility, a lot of roller coaster movement, a lot of up and down stuff. And I prefer swing trading, where I can take a trade and hold it for several days or longer. But I have switched to day trading. Get in, get the profit, get out. Because especially like if you trade gold like I do, these times are just not normal. I just don't know what to say. Anyway, let's jump in and get started with this weekly analysis here. This week is starting on the 19th of May 2025 and going through for the next 5 days. And of course, we will look at the high impact news that's coming out, and also the profit and loss we had from last week. And last week was actually a very, very good week, very profitable. And then, of course, I will share my pending orders with you. That's the trade setups that I have in place. And I hope that those will help you to make profit in your Forex trading. And then at the end, I have something, a little bonus, a little surprise that, I'm trying to add some value to my videos, to what I do, to help all of you that want to be able to be successful and to be profitable trading Forex. So stick around to the end. All right, let's jump over and look at forexfactory.com. That's our go-to website for the news that's coming out, and we have a full calendar. I won't go through all of those items, but just tell you to be sure and check forexfactory.com for your local times and be aware of all of these news items. They do cause a lot of volatility, some of them more so than others. And then I like to look at the fear and greed index, and this is interesting. Just a month ago, it was down at 14. And I saw a couple of weeks ago, it actually got down to 3. But what can we learn or know from this fear and greed index? Well, you see where it is now at 71. And this just tells us that the market sentiment is optimistic. They believe everything's going to be okay. I don't know if they believe that or not, but it does tell us that the market sentiment means that they are less likely to go for safe havens such as gold. And that's why we've been seeing a decline in the buying of gold. We've been seeing a drop in the price of gold. And we'll look at those charts in just a minute and analyze that. But generally, overall, this fear and greed index tells us that the market sentiment is a little bit more optimistic than they have been for most of the year. And for those of you that just found this video by accident and you would be interested in learning how to trade Forex, but you don't know how to get started, I have a free video tutorial course. It's about 10 videos, and this will help you to choose your broker, to set up your trading software, and to learn a little bit about how to take trades, pending orders, how to buy and sell, risk management. It's a foundational course, and it will help you to set up everything to have a look at trading Forex and see if it's a good fit for you. And actually the link is below this video in the description, or if you have any inquiries, you can telegram me at rickrayfx. So let's look at the profit and loss we had from last week's trades. And as I said, it was a very profitable week. We had a sell limit on the Euro US. It didn't execute until about midweek. It did start off the downward trend in the beginning of the week, but it gapped down. So you would have really had to be Johnny on the spot to catch that first initial trade. But even if you just let that one go, it did come back and hit our pending order midweek, and then we got 129 pips on that one. Then the odd US kicked off early in the week. The very first thing, Monday, it hit our sell limit, went a little bit the wrong direction, but then came good for the rest of the day for a grand total of 57 pips. And then you would have had to get out of that one. Okay, that was surely just a day trade, okay, before it went absolutely the opposite direction. And then the New Zealand US was a sell limit. Okay, that one went good for us from the beginning of the week, and got 74 pips out of that one before it turned around. And then the pound US, I said, remember, was neutral. We've got a candlestick sandwich there. And when there's no clear direction, I would rather just sit out and not take a trade. So the pound, there was no pending order on the pound US last week. With the USD CAD, it did take off right from the beginning of the week and gave us 110 pips over a 2-day period. If you had got out of that one, then you could have re-entered, because it came back down and hit the pending order again, all right, at 1.3905, and gave us another 100 pips or so. So a really good trade on the USD CAD. And then the UJ, the USD JPY, that one gapped up on the Monday. Okay, so again, you would have had to be Johnny on the spot to catch that one. If you did, it was a really, really good trade. But if you just let that one go, it came back down, hit the pending order on Friday, and then gave us 105 pips before the close of the US session. And then finally, the one that everyone loves to trade, and that's gold. This was the absolute cash cow last week, okay? And I said in last week's video, just take a sell order, just market execution. You wake up Monday morning, just sell gold, and boy, did that pay off. All right, if you had closed that one on Thursday with 1,560 pips, you did extremely well. You probably took it in the beginning of the week, and then you got out, then you got back in. That's normal for most traders, but if you can be patient, sit on your hands, and just hold that throughout the move, you'd have got a grand total of 1,560 pips. And if you traded one lot, as you know, that's $15,000 for 4 days of trading. So gold making some wild and crazy moves, and this is not normal, folks. We know it's not normal. Gold just doesn't move like this. Look at this 2 weeks before when it went up to 3,500, and now it's way, way down below that. Anyway, we'll look at that in more detail in our analysis. And some of you keep asking me about this free support and resistance indicator that I've talked about a few times. This is an indicator. You see it on the right-hand side. I've been using this for 10 years. Very, very accurate. It gives you that blue line there, the Fibonacci pivot point, where prices will generally start from. And then it has 5 levels of resistance and 5 levels of support. And I have found over my trading of 10 years in Forex that it's very, very accurate. It only works on MT4, not MT5. But if you use MT4, this is absolutely a free indicator that I'm passing on to you, and the link for that is in the description below this video. Okay, before we look at the pending orders that I'm going to share with you, let's of course look at the DXY index. That's the dollar compared with 6 other major currencies. And of course, on the beginning of the week, we had that massive move up with the US dollar, and that was because after the weekend, China and US had apparently come to some terms with the trade tariffs. But then the dollar started to fall down again, and that's typical, okay? Initially, you'll always get a knee-jerk reaction to some big news, and then the price just starts going back to what it was doing before the news. And so the dollar is pretty much where it was. It's around in that 100 zone right now, and that's, of course, a psychological number. It has dropped a little bit below that, but it wants to come back above that. So I think we'll see a continuing decline in the US dollar. But for it to break below 100 and close below 100 is probably going to take some time, because it's a strong psychological number, and they don't want the US dollar to drop below that. We'll just see how it plays out, but I believe that we're going to see a continuing weakening of the US dollar. And then the JPY basket, so we started to see some strengthening after a long downward trend with the JPY. We're seeing some strengthening of the Japanese yen all last week. And that should continue to get stronger as we continue through this month. Now let's look at the pending orders that I have in place, and I do all of this to try and help you make profit with your trading Forex. And just remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a CPA. I'm not suggesting or recommending you take the same trades I do. You can if you want to, but these videos are just for educational purposes, and I hope that they will help you. But just remember, it's up to you to manage your own account and to use good risk management. So the first one we look at is the Euro US, and I have a sell limit on that one with the entry price of 1.1175. All right, it's just below that now. Let it come back to our resistance line. That's the yellow line that you see there, and we should start to see a continuing bearish movement on the Euro US. The odd US, just sell. Okay, market execution. When you wake up Monday morning, just sell the odd US. And the New Zealand US is a sell limit. Needs to let that one come back to our resistance point there at 0.5890. And then the pound US is a sell limit. Let that one come back. Our entry price is 1.3290. The USD CAD is a buy limit. Okay, entry price 1.3940. That one can go a little bit higher. It has been to $1.45. So let that one come down, hit our pending order, our support level at 1.3940, and then we should see some more buying of the USD CAD. And the UJ, just buy. Okay, it can move up higher, and we'll see how it goes. Use a small lot size on this one, because as the Japanese yen starts to gain strength, it could struggle to move any higher against the US dollar. But I do have a buy order, and that's market execution. When the market opens on Monday morning, just buy the USD JPY. And then finally, the one that everybody loves to trade, and that's gold, of course, XAU USD as a sell limit. We are going to continue our bearish run. Gold is bearish on the day chart, bearish on the 4-hour chart, and bearish on the 1-hour chart. So just sell limit on gold with the entry price at 3218. Where will it go? Well, the next support level is about 3,200. And of course, we do have support below that. 3,180 would be the next support level, but we're definitely going to see some bigger moves with gold next week. So some huge moves. These are crazy moves. Last week it dropped 800 pips in one day, and then in the same day moved up more than 1,000 pips. Dropped 800 pips and moved up 1,000 pips in the same day. It is crazy. If you understand why gold is moving like this, let me know. Give me some. And I have my own ideas. I don't know that they're correct or not, but really seeing some wild and crazy swings with gold. So just be careful trading gold, because it does make big moves. It can be very profitable if you get the direction right. But be sure you use the stop loss on your trades. Don't chase the candles, and just be cautious with your trades on gold. All right, I have a big announcement, as I said in the beginning, and this is that I'm soon releasing a new copy trade account. All right, this is something that I set up, as you can see on the right-hand side there, 40 days ago. I wanted to let this run for a while so that I have some good data to share with you, and the account is working very well. It's profitable. More than 10% in those 40 days. So it's making some good return. And if you want more information about this, you have some inquiries, just telegram me at rickrayfx. I will be making a more public announcement to release this to everyone that wants to do copy trade. Maybe you're one of those people that doesn't like to trade, you don't want to trade, or you're not interested in learning how to trade, and you can still make income from forex by copying this account named Prosperity Rising. And I will be announcing this very, very soon. But if you'd like to get jump started on this, just let me know. This is a very, very easy account to follow. I'm not trying to sell you anything. You know, this is just you connect your trading account with this one, and when this account takes trades, your account takes trades. And you can even start with $50. You can start with a cent account. So very, very easy to get started. You can fund it with $5,000 if you want to, but it's very, very easy to get started with just $50. All right, guys, so that wraps it up for this weekly analysis. I hope you have a good week of trading, and I hope that you will leave some comments below. All right, I do appreciate your feedback. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, be sure and subscribe and click that little bell so you'll be notified every time I make one of these videos. And if you would like me to share an analysis on some other currency pairs or any commodities, just let me know and I'll be glad to do that. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a great week of trading, and I'll see you again next time.